Hey guys, my name's Abby. Many of you know me as Daily Rush Lyrics or Abby2112 on Twitter. And I would just like to welcome you guys to this new channel I'm dedicating to Rush and all the Rush fans out there, because there's not really a channel on YouTube where Rush fans have really gathered yet. So I'm kind of creating this channel as a way for all the Rush fans to come together and have this be a collaborative effort from people on Twitter and basically anyone who really finds this channel, just so that we can have a place in the community here on the internet where Rush fans can get to know each other a little more. So today I'm filming a Rush Q&A, and basically I asked you guys to tweet me some questions on Twitter about Rush and about my Rush experiences. So today I'm going to answer some of them, and hopefully you guys can answer in the comments too, because I'd love to hear from you guys. So the first question comes from Art of ATL on Twitter, and they ask, gun to your head, you have to eliminate 10 songs from the catalog/existence. What would they be? That is a hard question. I don't think I would eliminate any of their songs. If I had to answer it, I'd probably go with most of the songs on Hold Your Fire, just because that's probably my least favorite album. And I'm sure other people love that album, but I just don't find that album quite as strong as their other ones. So probably off of Hold Your Fire, I would say Open Secrets, Prime Mover, Turn the Page, Tyshawn, and High Water. Those are like 5 or 6 right there that I would probably just eliminate. That's probably all I can think of, really. Those are just my least favorite songs, so. Okay, so the next question comes from @Starman1888 on Twitter. He asks, everyone asks favorite album, but what is your least favorite album and why? Well, I kind of just covered this in the last question. I feel like Hold Your Fire doesn't really have that kind of Rush sound that everyone knows and loves. It's kind of just like a awkward album that they made in between like other better albums, so probably Hold Your Fire. So next question comes from NotMaggie90. What album would you give to someone who has never heard Rush before? I've actually done this. I've introduced some other people who've never heard of Rush to Rush before, so the obvious answer is Moving Pictures, just because it's that iconic album that everyone knows. Even if you're not like a hardcore Rush fan, you've just heard of Rush, like odds are you're gonna know Moving Pictures. So I'd probably give them Moving Pictures, plus that has like some of their best songs on it. So the next question comes from Cycles in the Dark. Would you agree with most Rush fans that Time Stand Still documentary marks the end of touring forever? Any chance new LP? I think R40, the documentary Time Stand Still, they obviously didn't make it for nothing. So in the documentary they explained how this was the end of touring, so I honestly think their documentary is their way of saying we're done with touring, unfortunately. So that's what I think of it. Any chance of new LP? I think there is a possibility that they could release one, but odds are they probably won't, because with Rush, whenever they release a new album, they always follow it up with a tour. Like, they wouldn't not do that. So since they said touring is over, I just don't see an LP happening. Alright, the next question comes from Tom P on Twitter. How did you get into Rush? What album did you first listen to? When and where did you first see them live? Alright, so I got into Rush when I was probably 3 or 4. My dad played the live Vapor Trails album on the TV, and I was just obsessed with that little flying dragon animation that they have during One Little Victory, so I'd be like obsessed with that dragon, and ever since then I've just always loved them. What album did I first listen to? My dad actually gave me he owns every single CD that Rush has ever released, so he just gave me his entire collection, kind of just as a starter. So I kind of just, he told me to listen to Moving Pictures first, so I listened to Moving Pictures first. I remember the first song I ever heard by them, really like sit down and listen to them, was Limelight. The last part of the question is, when and where did you first see them live? I first saw them live on their Time Machine tour at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, and it was, ever since then, that was like the starting point of my obsession, and ever since I saw them live, it just grew from there. So Time Machine at Mohegan Sun, that was my first concert. The next question comes from @Vols53. I know this is specific, but I've been listening to it a lot lately. So what's your favorite song on Hold Your Fire? Hold Your Fire is just so much in this video. My favorite song off of Hold Your Fire is kind of cliche. It's Time Stand Still, just because that's like the epitome of that album, and it has Amy Mann on it, and the music video for that song is super hilarious, so I just love that song so much. So yeah, Time Stand Still. Alright, the next question comes from R. Burns 2112. Who is the most proficient at their respective instrument and why? I think Neil Peart is the best at what he does because he is regarded as one of the best rock drummers of all time, and just like in general, he's one of the best drummers of all time. And neither Alex or Geddy are like known as one of the best guitarists or bassists of all time. So I think Neil is definitely the best at what he does. The next question comes from at JMaxZ2112John. What is your favorite album and era? My favorite album is Vapor Trails, just because I love just like the heaviness of it and just the way it was recorded. Like the remastered version is amazing. It's just like my favorite album. My favorite Rush era is definitely early 80s, just because that's when like their most iconic albums came out, like Moving Pictures and Permanent Waves. That is just like iconic Rush, that early 80s and late 70s, so yeah. Alright, the next question comes from Jehovala? Tell me if I pronounce that right, I don't know. What was the song that got you into Our Boys? The one song that really got me into Rush was Free Will, because I remember I was driving with my dad in the car and he's like, Free Will came on the radio and he's like, you need to listen to the song, and he just turned it up like pretty much all the way on his car, and he said this is one of the best solos you'll ever hear. And so we just sat there in silence listening to the solo of Free Will, and it was just amazing. And that was just what really, that song is what really catapulted my obsession for Rush. So those are all the questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any video ideas or recommendations, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your answers to some of these questions, so you can comment them down below and I'd love to respond and have an awesome Rush discussion. And if you guys have any other video ideas, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!